Secrets, if you really look at yourself, you would be speechless. What happened to being doctors and teachers? What happened to being your brother's keeper? Nowadays, kids.
My name is Courtney, and my Instagram is at @AYEEEE, it's Coco, and you're watching BandClap TV.
Activate.
Yo, this is Ludacris.
What's going on? This is Drake.
It's Tiger Young Money Zone.
It's your boy Wiz Khalifa, man.
This is Big Sean.
Yo, what's up, y'all? This is Kanye West.
It's Jay-Z.
Yo, this is your boy Weezy.
You're in the mix with the DJ always banging the real hip-hop. DJ
BandClap.
I'm on my way. I'm home all night. I don't want my mind. Touch myself just thinking about you. With that mouth, when it come down, oh, look at us, suck it up like you. Think it up, suck it up like you, like oh.
I ain't afraid to drown. If that deep up in your ocean, yeah. I drink you down, sipping on your body all night. Conscious, take your legs and wrap around. Girl, you mine now. Head to your chest, feeling your heartbeat, girl. Swimming all in your sea, and you sweating all over me. Forward, don't you run, girl. I don't want to be a minute man. If you just don't raining on me, girl, you're soaking wet. Yes, you're right. Yeah, I'm gon' lick all night. Yeah, and I'm inside. Yeah, girl, you got what I said. I'm gonna play for yeah, I'm gonna make you wet for
Two o'clock in the morning, I'm yiked up and I'm home. I need nine Simone. That pussy got me zoned. Vibe, tell me she want it. She got the fuck how she on. Got a knock or she joan it. I know in the panties she foam. Lockdowns on that monkey. I know she wet cause she told. Ass on her, she poking. Every nigga in here scoping. See me up in her poking. She bent over and I'm stroking. Cheeks spread wide open. I'm beating in and I'm focused. Bad as hell and she swole. I'm trying to play in her hole. Mama dime, she cold. I fuck her one soul. Want a naked, no clothes. I'm in the private shows. No limit, anything goes. I'ma let her ride on her toes. Stand in front of me and pose. You touch mine, I touch yours. Get up sprung is my goal. First time I seen her, I froze. Had to get her, she knows. She bucked and then she folds. I'm too real and she knows. She want the goon in this show.
And I'm cold all night. I drew on my mind. I touch myself just thinking about you. I'm out too, yeah. When it come down, oh, look at us, suck it up like you. Think it up, suck it up like you, like oh. Lay me on my tummy, put it in my stomach. You know it's just how I want it. Now I can't stop coming. Love her shooting up my club. Let's go have fun a song. How far do you wanna go? Oh, pussy on the way, baby, out of way, no. Can't wait to look on your face. When I put this pussy on, buzz it over this place.
Like a mental, in your back like a limbo. I'ma make you feel for right. Oh, my mind. Anytime you want it, I'm ready and willing, gotta give it. From the body, you gotta swim it. Flip it around, girl, let me get it side. And can I visit all those spots you like? Your neck, your back, your sexy lips, booty.
Late night loving, way I'm coming. Better cold all night. I got you all night. I just thinking about you. Like, what that mouth do, yeah. Now, ooh, look at us, suck it up, vacuum. Think it up, suck it up, vacuum, like, oh.
Yo, what is poppin'? Before the video starts, I just want to let you all know that I give readings, just like the ones that you see every Monday on my channel. I give on point Orisha Tarot card readings for singles and also for couples. I also do natal chart consultations. My Everything is Everything reading is by far my bestseller. If you want to check out any of these services, please visit my website at www.bandclaptv.com. And also, when you go to that website and you scroll down, you will see a link to go to my shadow work class. In this time that we're in right now, shadow work is very, very important. Getting to know yourself, your inner child, really knowing who you are. All of these things are extremely important, and I have a very, very informative self-paced course. Shout out to Spiritual Ascension University and Melanie the Spirit Doula for allowing me to be able to give you all this very, very priceless course, if I do say so myself. So again, if you want to check these things out, go to my website, www.bandclaptv.com. All right, on with the video. Because since we're talking about things being exposed and stuff like that, you know, we're in a time now where a lot of things are being exposed. A lot of things are being brought to the surface and stuff like that. And this was something that I was thinking about this morning while I was listening to Aphrodite Stone video that she did. Shout out to Aphrodite Stone. And it was talking about if you're gonna fight for something, fight for this, or something like that. And she was pretty much talking about the same thing I was saying back in June the 22nd, the stream that I did, where I was talking about how everybody has a part to play. Not everybody is meant to be out in the front lines, you know, so play your part. And then she talked about it on the 26th of June, or I think it was like either 26 or yesterday, when she came out with her stream talking about it. And then there was somebody that commented into the chat, and they said something about a lot of stuff is hidden in plain sight. And then I started getting this channel message about hidden in plain sight. That's another thing that a lot of us conspiracy theorists used to say a lot. You know, stuff is hidden in plain sight. You know. And then I remember also looking at this video by Sinful to P. And Sinful to P, he was talking about a lot of this information that we're getting right now is not stuff that we didn't already know. It's just stuff that's confirming what we already knew, because we live in a society that likes to shape your perception. So when you talk about something that is hidden in plain sight, just saying that out loud, it already sounds like an oxymoron. Because if it's in plain sight, it's not hidden, because it's in plain sight. You know? And this is one of those type of terms that really shows you how sinister and also how magical these words in this English language, you know, puts people under these spells and all of that. How they would take something that makes sense, hidden in sight or hidden. They'll take something that makes sense and then they'll put a spell in there to kind of confuse you and throw you off. And unless you can decode the word, unless you can decode the spell, you'll never be able to fully get the gist of the sentence. You'll never be able to get the full depiction of it. So when you say that something is hidden in plain sight, and then Spirit was like, okay, so break down the word plain. Because remember, there are how many different ways that you can say plain? You got PLANE, and then you got PLAIN. You know, two different meanings, you know, two different spellings, but it sounds the same. Just like there, and there, you know, you know, THEE, I come to thee. And then where you say the dog went to the house or something. And this is the confusing part of the English language that makes it a spell. So when you just say that something is hidden in plain sight, it sounds confusing because there's some other stuff that you have to put into it in order for it to make sense. But first you got to realize what the word plain, you got to realize what that is. Because how Spirit broke it down to me, when you think about plain, you think about you know, something that's like a aircraft that's flying in the air. Also, when you think about plane, you think about a plot of land, a landmass. You think about a landmass. And then when you put the ET on it, it turns into a plane with a net around it, or a nut. Remember the goddess Nut. So you have a plane with nut, with a net over it. And that's a planet. A planet. You have a planet. And that's what we're on. We're on the planet that's called Earth. And the reason why you know, we can't just fly away like a plane can. The reason why we can't fly away, you know, is because there's a net that is over this plane. You know, a lot of people, when they get high on ayahuasca or shrooms, or you do things to open up different parts of your mind, you can actually look at the sky and see the grid over it. You know, you can see it. Hand plane for wood leveling. Yeah, it's a level plane, you know. So then you got the other meaning for plane. You got another meaning for plane, and that means bland. You know, it means bland. And another thing when it comes to this English language, just like how they say white is right, and they make you think that when it's white is right, that's the same type of magic that they put over us, making us think that plain means original. Think about when you go to the store and get some Ruffles potato chips. When you say, I want the plain Ruffles potato chips, what does it say on the bag? It says the original kind. Because the plain kind is the original kind. So that's another trick. But in a world or in a situation to where we've always had variety, we've always been given variety our whole life. You know, when you look at something that's plain, it's bland. You know, so say you get some plain original Ruffles potato chips, right? Now, let me know in the chat. Can you eat more of the plain kind than you can eat more of the barbecue kind or the cheddar sour cream kind? You know, because I know me. If I'm just eating the plain Ruffles potato chips and that's all I'm eating, it's gonna get to a point where it's just gonna get to the point where I'm just gonna I'll probably not even finish the whole bag in one sitting, because it's just too plain. You know, what's the first thing that you want to do if you get some plain chips? You want to go get some dip and put on top. You want to get some cheese. You know, some people like rotel. You know, you might put some taco meat on top. You know, some tomatoes, all kind of stuff. Yeah, some hummus to put on top. And it gives it, yeah, hot sauce. Yeah, barbecue. Exactly. So what is that? Is giving the plain chips, now it's giving it some flavor. Now you're adding flavor to it. Now you're adding seasoning to it. I'm going somewhere with this. Trust me. So you're adding seasoning to it. So a lot of us, you know, as soon as you got introduced, because I know with me, I remember the year, I remember how old I was when I first got introduced to the cheddar sour cream Ruffles potato chips. I was in the 5th grade. I think I was like 11 years old, I think. And ever since then, I never got the original kind or the plain kind ever again. I never got that kind ever again. So you know, so what is the people, talking about people, that represents bland, the people that represent plain, and they like to change their perception to be the original people. Y'all can say it in the chat. Y'all know the people that I'm talking about. Yeah. Can't say the last time I purchased original Ruffles. True. But the thing about it is, now think about it in a reality type of standpoint. Think about this in a reality type of standpoint. You have a race of people who are bland in a world that is full of all these different colors and all of these different types of season. Because, you know, black people, you know, we got all different type of seasons. We got Lowry's, we got seasonal, you know, we got Goya, we got that Creole season. You got the Scotch bonnet. We got all different type of variety of flavor. You know, but there's really been a push to force you to worship, or to force you to want to keep getting the original, or getting the plain, you know. Yeah, Old Bay. There's a systematic ploy to get you to look at the plain as the original, when a lot of us, we just know that the plain just meant the most primitive form of it. You know, when Ruffles first started as a company, they started out with the original potato chip, the plain one. And then after they evolved, I hope y'all getting where I'm coming from. And then after they evolved, they started adding different flavors. So now you got the barbecue flavor. Now you got the cheddar, you got the sour cream and onion flavor. You got the hot wing flavor. They even had one for a minute. They had one that was chicken and waffles. They had one that tastes like chicken and waffles for a minute. You know? But just because something was, you know, in its most primal, primitive, the most primitive state, that doesn't mean that it's the best. But if you come up in the system to look at the plain race, you come up in the system to look at the plain race as, you know, as God, as the original, because who is God? God is the original, you know, then you will start to look at your flavor as something bad. You will start to look at your flavor, your flavoring as something wrong. When in all honesty, the flavor is the evolved version of the plain. of the plain one. You know, I'm trying to talk in code. So, what have I always told y'all about the planet Venus? Venus is the planet of love. It's the planet of romance and, you know, all of that. But it's another thing that Venus is responsible for. Because we know that isn't Venus doesn't Venus have something to do with Neptune or something like that? What I'm trying to say is Venus is also responsible for illusions as well. That's why when someone is in love, what do you say about someone who's in love with somebody and they're not good for them, but they're lost in love with that person? What do you say? What do you say that they got on their face? Let me see what somebody said in the chat. Yup, DIY. Yup, rose-colored glasses. And we know that roses are associated with love. So when we're in love, we got our rose-colored glasses on. You know? And we're just walking through life like everything is just all hunky-dory and all of that. So when we're talking about the plane and all of that, what does that mean in that? Well, what it means is a lot of us, we've been living in so much of a illusion our whole life because the truth is just too hard to deal with for some of us. And the thing about it was, we could have kept getting away with it if it wasn't for that meddling Venus retrograde. So now all the rose-colored glasses is gone. All the rose-colored glasses is gone because we've been in this life, in this illusion. We've been eating some moldy, plain Ruffles potato chips. We've been eating this whole time, us as seasoning people, melanated people. A lot of us, we've been eating some toxic, moldy Ruffles original plain potato chips. But the reason why we've been able to get away with it so long, you know, because this system that we've been in, this matrix that we've been in, they put cheese on top of it, money. They put meat on top of it. You know, the food that you eat that calcifies your pineal gland. You know, they put all of these different pico de gallos and all of this stuff on top of these moldy potato chips. You know, so when you eat it, that's all you really tasting. You know, so it masks the flavor, or it masks the fact that you've been eating mold all your life. You know, and you wonder why, as a people, we're so sick. You get it? You wonder why, as a people, we're so sick. Because look at what we've been ingesting all of our life. All of these illusions. You gotta, you know, and I was listening to this Bobby Hemmett. There's this Bobby Hemmett lecture that he did with Sonetta. And y'all can look it up on YouTube. It's called The Best of Bobby Hemmett. And Bobby Hemmett, even he talked about that. And this lecture came out back in 2003. This came out back in 03. You know, and he was talking. Said Shat Renee. He was talking about that back in 03. This same exact thing. Let me see. DIY with I said, it's funny that you say that early today I bit into a piece of moldy bread, but I spit it out. The catch was the mold was at the bottom where I could see it. And also, you didn't have nothing else to mask the flavor. Now just think if you had a piece of bread and the mold was actually on the inside of the bread, but at the top of the bread, it looked just fine. And you was just going on about your merry little way. You put some jelly on it. You put some peanut butter on it. You toasted the bread and all of this stuff. And then you get sick, you know, and you think it's your fault. And you don't think, because you didn't know that the store actually gave you some moldy bread. You running around, you think it's your fault. Like, damn, I don't know why I'm so sick. Because a lot of us, we've had these rose-colored glasses on so much, you know. And we've been in this illusion for so long. A lot of us, well, I would say most of us, 100% of us, we don't know how this reality was meant to be experienced. Let me say it again. We as a melanated people have been in a illusion in this matrix for so long that 100% of us do not know how this reality is meant to be experienced. We don't know. And you can't sit up here and say that you know. You can't. Because your mama don't know. Your dad, your grandma don't know. Your great grandmama sure don't know. Because 9 times out of 10, she was a slave. You know? How far back do we have to go in our DNA for us to really, really be able to get some type of recollection of how this reality was supposed to be experienced? You know? Because the information that the ancients gave to us about our Akashic records and being able to still be able to transcend this reality, even though we're in this body, a lot of those things are forgotten arts. Who can you really find, you know, that's teaching that in this day and time? So where you gonna go? Who you gonna call? You know? And you wonder why, as a people, we're so sick. You wonder why. A lot of us, we rush through life. You know, we've been in this matrix that showed that we have to rush, you know, time, chronos, time. You know, we're rushing, trying to just to do nothing, you know, just to work at a job that's not even a part of your life purpose. You know, you're rushing to get home to a spouse that's not even your life partner. You're rushing to raise a child, or you're rushing to get home to your child that you're not even truly raising right. You're sending them to a indoctrination camp called school, you know. So you rush into the store to get this, to try to pack them a lunch, to get some bread. You rushing trying to get bread, aka you trying to get money. You rushing trying to get money, trying to get bread, and the bread that's available to you, like Gabby the Goddess said, the bread that's available to you is the bread that's gonna make you sick, aka the opportunities for you to make money real fast are usually the opportunities that's gonna end you up in jail. Usually the opportunity that's gonna end you up in prison. Usually, the opportunities that that's gonna make you end up having to make you throw up, aka making you have to give all of that money back in some type of way. You see where I'm going with these analogies? But then the people who work at the Walmart and their children and their children and stuff like that, they let them know, like, look, when you go to Walmart, remember the old bread is always going to be at the front of the aisle, and then if you want to get the good bread, you gotta look behind and get the good bread that's behind. AKA, a lot of the other races of people, they're not raised up with the same moldy bread as opportunities to make money and to be successful than we had. They learn about investing at an early age. Why? Because their parents did it. Their parents did it, and not only that, they got trust funds and they got money stored away so that if they make a mistake and get the wrong thing and do the wrong thing, they got a little cushion that they can fall back on. Most of us as melanated people, we don't have that. Most of us, we don't have that. If you make one bad mistake, it's over. One false move and your whole, everything that you work for can be gone down the drain. Why? Because we come into the system with a weak stomach because we're sick. So we already come in with a weak stomach. So all it takes is that one moldy piece of bread and we got to go to the hospital now. Whereas that healthy person of a Caucasian race, he can go and eat the moldy bread, and he can throw up and everything is cool, because he was raised up with a healthy diet since birth. What was a lot of us raised up on since birth? Hot Pockets, chips, high fructose corn syrup, candy, soda pop, McDonald's hamburgers, cheeseburgers, Taco Bell, Pizza Hut. That's the stuff that we was raised up on. So by the time you get into an adult, you already halfway a diabetic, and I know I'm speaking in like 3, 4, 5 illusions. 3, 4, 5 analogies. But I hope y'all can understand what I'm saying. What's up, y'all? I hope y'all enjoyed that video, and if you stayed to the end, I appreciate you. Also, if you haven't already, be sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to my YouTube channel. Also, I want to redirect you to my Instagram page. I don't promote my Instagram page a lot, but as my subscriber count and things like that rise due to things like shadow banning and stuff like that, I'm hearing that a lot of people aren't getting my notifications when I go live on YouTube and stuff like that. So for all things BandClap TV, my Instagram page and my story are going to have all of the notifications and things like that when it comes to when I'm going live, when I'm going, when I'm releasing videos, when I'm releasing content. Also on my Instagram page, if you're curious about my reviews for my readings and stuff like that, as you can see on my Instagram, I have a lot of different testimonials and stuff like that. For those who don't know of me as an artist, I also have videos of me performing and stuff like that. I'll be putting out more stuff like that very, very soon. So I'm just trying to get as many people right now to go ahead and follow me on Instagram. That is BandClap TV. And also my Facebook and Snapchat, BandClap TV as well. All right, y'all. I appreciate y'all. And like I always say, no matter what, you got to stay shining. You got to stay shining.